Do we want to start with Avatar?
No.
Yeah, sure. I feel like we'll have much less to
Damn
say
it.
about Avatar in general.
I have more to say about Avatar.
Damn.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so Avatar. I mean, what the fuck can you say about, like, the highest-grossing film of all time? I think that this film is just generally very formulaic overall. Much like Strange World, it also has a very pro-environmental message in it, which, I think it kicks ass. I'm a big fan of those pro-environmental messages. It has the Mighty Akron in it, guys. Y'all a big fan of the Mighty Akron?
I don't know what that is.
What?
It's the
Mighty
pterodactyls.
Akron.
The what?
It's
The pterodactyls?
Yeah, that's what the pterodactyls are called. They're the Akron.
Okay.
You mean the Ekron?
The Akron.
Anyway, we'll ignore the fact that you're pronouncing that wrong. Anyway.
Do you
It's
guys
a made-up language, Dylan.
Who
Shut
cares?
up.
I love language. Shut up.
Do you guys like it when he fucking conquers the Dorito Akron?
What the fuck? Don't. Oh my god.
It's funny.
This is gonna
That part's
irritate
sweet. I'm a big fan of that
It's gonna
part.
irritate. Your review is gonna irritate the fuck out of me. I can already tell.
So silly.
No,
Continue.
Jackson, this is your first time ever watching Avatar, shockingly. What'd you think of it?
Oh god, I thought it was just okay. I think,
God damn it.
honestly, the biggest thing that stood out to me with this movie is I was just looking at the CG visuals, the 3D animation. Not even specifically, I think it looks good for its time. There's definitely some weird parts where they're, like, chroma keying real people into these 3D environments. It looks really janky because the lighting's super
Yeah.
off. But, they're trying their fucking best, man. I still think it's a really good-looking movie overall, especially for its time. But the one
Oh, it
thing
looked
that...
phenomenal for its time. Are you kidding me? That's like why people
yeah.
saw this movie.
Yeah, but like the big thing that I noticed is just random clipping. I was constantly seeing just random clipping all the fucking time, especially like mostly with like real people in the scene. Like when you like a really egregious one, for example, is when fucking Jake Sullivan was getting out of his little like sleep chamber thing, and he like puts his legs on the side of it, and like you can like see his fucking legs just like clip through the side of the fucking machine. And it looked really, really weird. And that was pretty early on in the movie. And after that point, I was just constantly seeing this and just could not stop noticing it. It's not like a big thing. I'm sure if you weren't paying attention to it, you would have seen this stuff. But I just kept fucking hard laser focusing on it. And I was really taking away my attention, to be completely honest.
Yeah, this movie has a bad case of Uncanny Valley.
Oh, absolutely.
I remember it looking impressive back then, but I don't, maybe we've just been conditioned to even better CGI, because now I just watch it, I'm like, the biggest thing for me is like, it looks like a fucking, the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, this looks like a really good video game. Like, the whole thing, it looks like a really good video game cutscene from like this year. I'm like, man, look what they can do in video games now.
Yeah.
It's not quite movie quality anymore. But also, it's been 14 years, so that's kind of to be expected.
Yeah.
Still
That's
alright.
where innovation will come eventually,
You know what's funny? Something I didn't remember about this movie was that the, like, initial point of them making the Avatar bodies was to, like, try and do, like, a diplomatic solution.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that at all, and that kind of reframes the movies to me, because... Like, I went into the second movie with the assumption, the humans just kind of started fucking them up for no reason.
What'd you think they made the avatars?
I thought it was just some contrived bullshit where they're like, they can operate on their own planet better. You know, like, they don't have to breathe and they're bigger and stronger, and, you can logic your way into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I personally forgot that, like, the fucking, like, little tentacles, like, come out of their hair. I thought it was their tail.
No.
Nah, I remembered it was
the
their hair.
That's the hair thing.
Yeah, I remember growing up, when it came to this movie, one part that I was like, oh, I can't wait for this part to come up, was when they start fucking in the trees, dude. Because I could have sworn that when I initially saw that movie as a child, I thought I could see her nipple at one point. I thought I could see it. I didn't see it
was
this
looking
time,
for it
but
too,
I thought I
yeah.
could see it.
Interesting.
I mean, listen, anytime one of the female Na'vi was on screen, I'm like, one of these CGI, pervert artists, they had to sneak a nipple in here somewhere. Come on.
No.
Yeah, you're just like, had your eyes locked right on him, just like trying to get the right angle, just see if you can just get a glimpse, maybe.
Yeah.
I was definitely looking for those as well. A couple of times I thought I saw them, man, but alas, they're evasive.
How'd you guys feel about the performances from everyone in this movie?
Terrible.
Really?
No.
Terrible?
I thought they were serviceable.
Yeah, they were fine.
I thought they were service. I like how we have the obligatory Michelle Rodriguez as military grunt woman.
Yeah.
She just she's either being in Fast and Furious or she's doing that. So she really got typecast.
Yeah.
I feel like every generation we like typecast some Latina actress as like the military badass bitch. Like
it's a growing market.
trope.
We need to make sure we got plenty of women to fill them roles.
Yeah.
For me, personally, the only gripe... Okay, so here's the thing. You guys were talking about all the stuff you noticed. For one thing, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about half the time. I don't know what the hell chroma key or whatever's supposed to mean. I never saw like any of the clipping you guys were talking about. Like, that completely glazed right over. The only gripes I have with this movie are, one, why the fuck do all of the animals on this planet sound like dinosaurs from Jurassic Park? And then... that one chick we were just talking about, I already forgot her name. It really sucks that she seemed like such an integral part of the movie and like wanted to help out. And then literally when it comes to her time at the end where she's like fighting the big ass gunship, they kill her almost immediately, which is kind of sad because she was actually one of my favorite characters and she fucking died
It's sad stakes. Now people can die, nobody is safe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so those are like really my two big gripes. What's really funny, Tanner, you saying the whole like this looks like a really good video game is like I had that thought. Like I think it was when they were in the floating mountains, and I was like, damn, this would be a really cool video game.
They're making one.
I know they are.
They already made one.
Oh,
Yeah.
did not
You
know
just
that.
you just said I know, and then when
I
they
thought,
are,
I thought you were going. My brain was ready for you to just go off on a thought that I thought we were gonna come together on, but yeah, I mean, I thought, like, this movie hadn't really changed much for me. I still really enjoy the movie. I just like sci-fi imagination bullshit. I did think the acting was very good throughout it. I think that my favorite concept in movies is when you have technology bullshit that's not actually real, but you have it set up in a way that logically in your brain, if you have the imagination for it, makes sense. So you're like, oh yeah, I mean, I can see how, like, this machine does what it's supposed to do. Like, we're not expected to know how it works. And if you want to ruin the movie and be like, that doesn't work because this, then yeah, sure, you can ruin the movie for yourself that way. But yeah, no, I overall still really enjoyed this movie. The version that I got from Jackson was the extended version that I had never seen before, which really only adds probably half an hour to the movie, surprisingly. Even though it's like...
Dude, that's so much.
I know, but it's like... Because, like, I think the movie's, like, usually only 2.5 hours, I believe.
Yeah.
So
he says only, like, that's not... that's super long.
To me, half an hour more isn't much, but it was really weird because in the extended version, they really only tack on, like, maybe a couple minutes, like, even, like, maybe a minute or, like, 30-second segments into different portions. Like, it's not like they're taking out chunks of the movie, but for whatever reason...
Like, it's just more shots of them walking or some bullshit?
Yeah, like, it's sometimes... I don't know what version you guys saw, but it's like, sometimes it's like the awkward cuts where it's like, oh, we're here now. Like, all of a sudden we're flying over this place, or like, all of a sudden we're in this room. It, like, had more transitionary... Like, it had setup to transition into the next scene. It's kind of hard to explain unless you've seen the extended version.
I think I get what you're saying.
It
was more James Cameron like jerking himself off to how cool his CGI is.
Yeah, but I think watching the extended version actually upscaled my opinion on this movie because it added more depth and I enjoyed the extra little footage. Just because I like long drawn out story. And unfortunately for me as well, when I got the extended cut, for whatever reason, the version that Jackson got me didn't have the natural translation for the language in the movie. So I kind of had to, like, go based off of memory what they were saying in the Na'vi language, because I just thought those subtitles came by default on the movie. But apparently...
Yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah, but apparently in my version it did not. So I kind of had to remember and interpret what they had said, and I kind of got the gist of it, but I had watched this movie enough times to kind of remember what they were saying, so...
Okay.
Yeah, it was really weird. It was a bit rough. I traded the translation for the extended cut version of the movie, unfortunately.
Apparently, that's something. Going back real quick, that was the most awkward sex scene I've ever seen, by the way. They don't even kiss. Do they even kiss? They, like, start rubbing each other's foreheads with their noses or some shit.
They do not kiss, I can confirm. I watched the extended version.
He was looking for them lips to touch.
It was
Yeah,
not.
that was
It wasn't
weird.
even much of a sex scene anyway. I was told by like friends in high school that during that scene in the extended version, like it's a drawn out sex scene and it's fucking weird. It really wasn't that long. It added like the version I watched maybe added like an extra 30 seconds to like a
Interesting.
minute, so it's not that big of a deal.
Speaking of sex, why did Sigourney Weaver have to be naked for that scene of them trying to put her in the Avatar
It
body?
definitely looks super weird.
Optimal connection. That's the only thing. That's the only logic there.
I can't
To
remember.
get
was
some
it
ass in the
Dude
seats, Tanner.
I guess.
Interesting. What were you saying,
But like,
Jack?
I don't. Maybe that is what, because like Sigourney, she was hot 40 years ago, but was James Cameron? You know what? He's an old pervert. He was probably absolutely like, "What, we can make Sigourney Weaver naked in my movie."
I can get footage of her during this whole scene that I can use for my personal collection. Hey.
I'm gonna take those videos of her down to the bottom of the ocean or wherever the fuck I'm going.
Nobody can see what I do with them there.
I will say one more thing before we transition to the next movie. I thought it was really funny how, after watching both of them again, how in this version we watch, the humans already have stuff established and they're trying to get what they want from the natives and then obviously fails. And then we flip to the second movie where they're starting to establish and then they like skip forward and then it's established, but it's like, it's just mirrored perspectives, and I don't know why it took me to watch this first movie again to realize that, but I thought it was a really interesting flip that they did. It was very well done.
Well, yeah, Dylan, it's like poetry, you see, it rhymes.
You're right.
Yeah.
Let me see if any of you guys agree with this. I feel like Jake's betrayal of the humans wasn't set up very well. It feels a little out of left field for him.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Just
making sure. Unless, I guess that Na'vi pussy is just that good.
Yeah, it
don't know.
could be.
I think it was just another one of those moments where it's like you're kind of submerged in like the culture and everything, and then you're starting to realize like, hey, maybe these people aren't what we thought they were. Maybe they're not so bad. And then he's starting to like realize like, oh shit, they're just doing what they got to do to survive. We're the ones fucking them up, kind of thing. Like he saw that all like the humans were doing were fucking shit up. Like,
I think they just copied Pocahontas, personally.
I think he just liked having legs again.
Yeah, that as well. That's a big portion. Nico, you're just saying that because was it this movie that was supposed to be an interpretation? Yeah, it was this movie that was supposed to be like a spin-off interpretation of Pocahontas, right?
No, it's just it's so blatantly copying off it that people say that.
Yeah, whatever, man. It's close enough. Close enough for jazz.
What do I? Oh, how come when they first attack the tree, the avatars are shooting the arrows at the planes and they're all just bouncing off, but then in the immediate next fight, the arrows can suddenly pierce all of their gunships.
They're using unobtainium for their arrow tips now.
It's downdraft.
They never said that.
Downdraft and angle.
Oh.
That's the only logic. If you want to apply physics to it. Like, if you think about it, if you're talking about the big fight at the end, they're like flying down at a really high speed. So you just combine that with the speed of the arrow when they launch it, and it's going straight through the glass instead of trying to, like, fucking, do that shit. I don't know. It's the only logic I can
I was
think
going
of.
to say, speaking of physics, the way they had the Na'vi bodies ragdoll whenever they were killed was very funny.
I agree.
Okay. Alright.
Another thing I did not remember about this movie was the way the final fight scene goes, where the animals just show up and start fighting.
Yeah, that shit's pretty cool.
That was stupid and lame. I hated that.
Did you... You missed...
It made the final battle scene just feel stupid and pointless.
What do you mean?
It's just like a dumb ex machina. It made it seem like the Na'vi's struggle just didn't really matter because the animals just show up and they do most of the work.
But he prayed to Awa, Tanner. Awa heard his prayer. That happened.
Awa isn't real.
You don't know that?
What?
Obviously, that's not true. They proved there were multiple segments in the movie where they were showing this shit isn't normal.
That's dumb.
There's some
I think that's dumb. I mean, I would have. It would have come across as silly, no matter how the Na'vi won. But I think it would have been better if it was if they did just find some contrived way for them to do it on their own.
I think they should have made a spirit ball to just fucking destroy him. Jake Sully should have put his arms up in the air and asked the plant to give him his energy.
Anyway.
Alright, what are all of our final thoughts on the movie?
Dude, this movie is pretty derivative of Fern Gully, okay? I'm just gonna throw that out there right now as my final thoughts. Jackson, you rate it first.
What the fuck is Fern Gully? Anyways,
We'll have to watch that one.
I thought this movie, honestly, in my opinion, in terms of like plot and all that business, was slightly better than Avatar 2.
Let's go.
I actually
Really?
I like the pacing a lot more in this one.
Telling you, man.
That's pretty much it. The pacing was a massive problem with me in Avatar 2. I felt so fucking rushed. So yeah, I'm rating it slightly higher than I rated Avatar 2, that being a B-.
Oh.
Okay.
Dude,
Yeah,
that B- sounded pretty good to me right now. I think I'm also rating a B-.
Oh, no.
Okay. Dylan?
You already know. I'm rating this movie, yes.
Interesting.
I really
Okay.
enjoy this movie. It's one of my favorite movies.
My turn. This movie is basic as fuck. I feel like
God damn it.
they do everything good, but they don't do anything great.
Yeah.
But they also don't really fuck up anything, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, the final battle felt stupid. And honestly, complaining about it this entire time, it's made me bring my rating down from what I wrote down here. So I think I am going to go for a B. A flat B.
Damn it, guys.
And guys, you know what? That puts us directly at a B+ right there.
Whoa!
B+.